Open up, Colorado. It's 420. Time to grind and burn.
This is not your son's stoner show.
Welcome back to the Cannabis Community Project, a weekly podcast high up in Denver, Colorado, exploring the business side of the newly emerging economy while living the lifestyle. Hey Cannapreneurs, this week's show is sponsored by Dairy Berry's Recording Studio. Welcome back, friends, family, Cannapreneurs. Welcome back to show number 2 of 2016. So great to have you on this fine Saturday afternoon. I am really digging this new studio. I got to tell you, it feels nice to invite people to a show, to do an interview, have them show up to a giant medical recreational dispensary, and then escort them into your own private little studio within that. It makes me feel like a professional. I really feel like this is the real thing. Like this is finally happening. So if you feel a little extra pep in my voice, it's because I'm just excited. I'm excited to be actually broadcasting from the Dank Studios. 3835 Elm Street. Come by and visit them. Recreational medical dispensary. And while you're there, stop by and say hi to me. Brainstorm. Take your first right as soon as you come through the door, or just ask, where's the CCP radio studio? All right, let's get into today's show. This is going to be a interesting show as I was piecing it together, trying to figure out exactly what it was that I was going to be doing here. But I want to introduce this new concept, this new podcast that I've been formulating and putting together and just trying to work through the basics of what it's going to be. The Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. And I figured what better way to kind of soft launch it, just soft launch it, by giving little bits and segments through this show, which I have officially named in 2016. This is the Grind and Burn Podcast. For the first couple years, we just called it the Cannabis Community Project radio show or podcast, but Cannabis Community Project is going to be bigger. Something that is really going to explore so many sides of cannabis that it can't just be about media and it can't just be about the audio side of podcasting. So under the umbrella of the Cannabis Community Project, we will now have 2 official podcasts. This one, the Grind and Burn, and this one I'm going to introduce today called the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. So we're going to talk to the guys at VizRed. Heard this show a few months ago, before the end of last year. VizRed, the cryptocurrency center in Aurora. You heard these guys talk all about what cryptocurrency is and how it works. So the podcast, as I explained last week, is diving into a whole realm of different things. So this is the way I want to launch it to you guys, is to give you a segment. So today's interview is with a guest we've had just recently, but it's kind of with myself, kind of with them, and it's kind of presenting this new podcast. But before we do that, let's make sure we remember what we learned last week, as always, with our short-term memory flashback relapse. Matthew Mills from MedX. Hey, have you gone out and invested yet? I'm doing it. 400. I got my mom to invest. I'm going to hit up every friend and family I know. This is the business I think people need to be involved in because it could be big. It's very easy to get involved. Check them out, MedX. If you got a couple bucks laying around, I highly recommend investing into the company. If you just want to use the product or learn what it's all about, take a listen to last week's episode. The full thing is archived on the Cannabis Community Podcast. But let me give you a couple minutes right now just to remember what we learned. Then we'll move on to this week's show. Here we go, Cannapreneurs. As always, grind and burn.
So I'm Matthew Mills. I'm the president, founder, and chief operating officer of MedX Inc. MedX Inc. is a medical marijuana research and development company. It's also an ancillary products company for the industry, as well as a digital media outlet. The Marijuana Times is our brand. We're building our brand to take our products and other people's products to the next level and bring them to the public's eye. Very unique situation with our company for sure. We've been cultivating with it, and we are completely bug-free. As a matter of fact, the soil that we've developed actually takes the plant to a place where it even needs less Nature-Cide to be used around it. I've just gone through 2 cultivations, full cultivations, and never needed to even treat the plant. So we've yet to spend any money on marketing. We started this company in 2014, and we started it after a very long thinking process and a very focused group of individuals. Yeah, I mean, I've got myself, Dr. Toomey, Ron Trzewski, our CEO, our CFO, and myself. We're investors first. That's really what we are. Dr. Toomey is a full-time physician. He's got 3,000 patients. I have various consulting work I do. I'm also the CEO of the other company I told you about that houses MedX, so I can have my hands on both companies at the same time. And raising a couple of different companies, we had a big group of investors right at our fingertips that we know that we called up and said, hey, we want to take this project on. What do you think? And they funded us immediately, jumped in and said, hey, let's do this. We see the team. We're all over it. They funded us immediately, although got to be careful because 506C allows you to general solicit. Raising it the old way doesn't allow you to solicit, doesn't allow you to put it out there.
I think the message you're bringing forward is really what people should hear. So why don't we go out on that note and let that be the last thing people hear? Because I think you're going to strike a chord with people, and they're going to get excited just as you are, and they're probably going to want to reach out and contact you, especially with all this job talk you're bringing up. So why don't we give people the outlet? Where can they get involved with you, with this company on any level, whether it's just to be an investor, whether it's to apply for some type of job, any type of collaboration? How can people get in touch with you?
The first and foremost is going to our Start Engine page, and we've actually made our web page is our Start Engine page. So our web page is MedX, and that's MEDX-RX.com.
How long have you been listening to the show? Long enough to know that it's your show, and all you got to do to be on it is just reach out to us at cannabiscommunityproject.com or email brainstorm@cannabiscommunityproject.com. Hey Cannapreneurs, let me take a second just to tell you about some friends of mine, as well as close sponsors of the show. Cushly Organic Products. The makers of Cushly have been environmental odor control consultants for more than 30 years. Their company puts out products that are used in hospitals, healthcare facilities, clinics, and homes throughout the United States and beyond. Cushly began as a product to help people who were going through chemotherapy and other patients who were in legal states but still not wanting to deal with the odor that medical marijuana brings when it is smoked. So Cushly has invented this very unique product that works like none other. I use it myself, and many of my close friends and family use it. What it does is it eliminates odor. It doesn't mask it. It's not a perfume. It's not a cologne. It eliminates it. And it's organic and it's non-toxic. Please check them out. They're good friends of the show, and there's a reason for that. It's because I only keep the best around my team, and Cushly is one of the best. www.cushly.com. Also find them on Facebook and other social media under the same name, Cushly Organic Products. Feeling guilty about a time with cannabis? Get it off your chest and confess it on Cannafessions, your public forum to absolve your soul.
New voice message, Wednesday, 4:21 p.m.
Hey, yeah, this is Mark. I went over to my grandma's house for a Christmas dinner, and I lost my bag. I looked all up for it, and I couldn't find it. And I left, and my aunt came over. She was standing in the room, and the next day, my grandma found a bag and blamed it on her. Thought she was smoking weed, and she kept denying denying it. She's older. She kept denying it, and Grandma, she was convinced it was hers, and she wanted to take her to the hospital so she could get fixed because she was a weed addict. And I never told them that it was my bag. So sorry, Auntie. Sorry, Grandma. It's really mine. And yeah, okay, I feel better. Thanks. Bye.
To replay this message, press 1. To delete this message and go to the next, press 7.
And that was Canifessions. If you have a confession to make, contact me via Facebook or the website at cannabiscommunityproject.com.
This is your final warning. This show may contain adult content as well as language that may not be suitable for work or for your children. Be advised. Be aware.
Wow.
This is outrageous. I cannot take this anymore.
What are you doing over there?
Everything is gonna be alright.
ODI Productions.
I stay G 'cause I'm so grand. I'm so cold and my coat's mad. Just like these hoes when I drop tracks. Only Hispanian on wax. That's what I'm claiming. No comparison. Your top 10 favorites. So embarrassing. Ain't nobody fucking with a lyricist. Busted out cheap shots and not Guinness men in the mix. They wanna be up in my ear and shit. Wasted words. Extra hate, but I ain't hearing it. Threats only show your insecurity. Breaking the bank like I broke up in your safe. No security. Nothing safe. Broke your base fan. Base jack. Hacked your buzz. And I can't get that back talking shit. Only making your breath bad. Don't give a fuck. I'll kick back with the chit chat. Move so sweet. Breaking tracks like a Kit Kat. Making hits. Watch them slap like a speakers berserk. 'Cause I work, not a sleep addict. People upset they wanna carry my award. Having no bragging. Never cared about a bandwagon. That's swagging. Got bitches tail wagging. They bound to fall like pants sagging. I'm no bust. They no ass having. You know what? BB track stabbing. More cuts than those you know. Trust backstabbing. Move up like Trump. What the fuck? No backtracking. Heat packing in my lingo and in my zigzag. Blunts in a row. Bingo. With a big bag. Drink track. Broken banks like broken habits. Spitting flame off top with no magic. So striking like a Glock that you'll blast it. Full clip. Chop chop. I'm a rap whiz. Kill 'em with a track list.
This the life that I live. This the life that I love. For my life, fuck it. Just to see these kids. We gon' break the bank. We gon' break the bank.
And now, the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast.
You're listening to the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. Welcome to the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast.
Prepare yourself for the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast.
Get ready for the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast.
Get ready for the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. Yeah, add some cowbell. Boom.
Prepare yourself for the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. And now, the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast.
Now the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast, man.
We're just a simple podcast here to explain your investments. We got some Bitcoin in bag. It's all about cryptocurrency and cannabis too. We just want to get you high on knowledge.
It's simple. We help raise money for those in need. Through the Aurora Cryptocurrency Center, we use donations to buy Bitcoin miners and investing in digital currencies that make money.
Bang! Careful. That shit's like gold. Matter of fact, I think it might be more expensive than gold. How much is gold per gram?
Per gram? I don't know. Per ounce, I was looking at a chart of it compared to Bitcoin not too long ago.
Well, we just paid $60 for a gram of this.
That was a gram and CBD pills.
Here's what I want. I want on my website, can you build me this app? I'll pay you $35. I have no idea how much.
An hour?
All right, 37. You got me. I want an app where somebody can put in the price of whatever they just paid for something and compare it to the price of their local cannabis dispensary of what they pay, compared to what we just paid for this $60 a gram rosin here. Which is more expensive? per gram. See what I'm saying?
No, I got
Is that 3 pounds of meat I paid at the Chinese food for the chicken and the beef and all that?
So it finds
is that
out how
3
much
pounds of
beef is
meat
worth,
more
yeah.
expensive, or is this rosin gram that I just paid for more expensive, right? And it's just giving you a simple greater than less than that says your cannabis was more expensive than the beef, or the beef was actually more expensive.
So it's an app that breaks the prices of anything down into grams.
Yeah.
Okay.
And compares the two of which is more expensive.
And then has a
but it
floating
exclusively always has one variable being cannabis
Mm.
of what you paid for cannabis. That's the catch, right? That's the thing. How much did you spend for this case of Dr. Pepper? Was it a case? Is it a 6-pack? What'd you
Don't
buy?
ask. I got it from a gas station.
Is this Dr. Pepper per gram, even though this is a liquid weight and we're comparing physical weight, but is this per gram more expensive, or is the cannabis more expensive? That's the app, right? See what I'm saying? You don't see what I'm saying.
I see what you're saying.
But you don't think it's a good idea.
The dumb ideas are always the most popular ones, right? That's what they tell you.
So you're saying I'm going to have a popular idea.
I think you might have a popular idea.
Perfect. Excellent.
I don't see how I would use that in my day to day though. Like, what do
It's
I
a
care?
novelty app. How do you use any of the apps you have?
This is not. It's non-essential. Why would I waste any time with something non-essential?
Because it's fun, and just like Facebook and Twitter, sometimes fun can turn into $1 billion business.
So then it's essential.
But not at the beginning. At the beginning,
I'm a
it's
big
just a
fan of
fun
those,
idea.
yeah.
And I think to enhance my website, being a cannabis website, it would be fun to enhance my website
Is that tool out
with
there?
a novelty app that when you're on the page, you can just play around with this little app that says, hey, compare the per gram price of this versus what I paid for cannabis.
Okay, yeah. So you
And indirectly,
you would have to-
we're tracking data which can be collected for some type of tracking system of the price of cannabis in general, right? So we can back end, figure out a way to maybe sell it to some corporation for something. But on the front end, it's just a fun little app that people imagine. But here, sorry, I'm holding the microphone.
doing a lot of.
I'm keeping it lit with a lot of wind. But imagine this, right? 1 million people throughout the day giving you data about the price of weed they just paid, right? Versus the price of everyday worldly things. So in your database now, you're collecting 2 bits of information that might become valuable. One is an overall aggregate pricing tracking of price of where people report from where they are of what they paid for weed. So you're getting a first person report of the price of weed from people all around the country or the world, right?
Do you do the surveys in the back of your Taco Bell receipt?
I don't eat at Taco Bell. And
Nice. Well, I mean, hey, fuck Taco Bell.
sometimes, like when I go to King Supers, there's like, hey, go to this website and enter. I would say 1 out of 100 times I may have done something like that. I don't normally.
Okay. I was just trying to see if you're the type of person that would use your own app.
I do a lot of surveys. Every time a company sends me an email saying, hey, we're following up on your customer service, blah, 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 the other day. Please take our survey. 9 times out of 10, I'll click that button and I'll take the survey and I'll rate it and the whole deal. If I have an experience at some place, I'll write a fucking Yelp review. If I'm angry, I'll post a Better Business Bureau report, complaint.
It's all a crazy one. I was at the gas station yesterday, and right next to the counter, they got the monitor. Right next to the cash register, they have the monitor. It's got just 5 blank stars on there. And while you're doing your transaction, the touch screen monitor, you select the amount of stars that this transaction was while you're talking to the person. It was kind of weird.
That's the story?
That is the story. This gas station has like a review thing right there. Huge, like a small television. Then you've got to select the number of stars for the person giving you the service. It's right there. It's strange.
Bang! Welcome to the first podcast ever of the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. Sitting here at Viz.Red, 323 Airport Road, Aurora, Colorado.
Boulevard. Airport Boulevard, Aurora, Colorado, 80011.
Here at the Aurora Cryptocurrency Meetup Group, simultaneously broadcasting the podcast. Sitting here myself, as always, you know me, Brainstorm. Here in front of me, let's do self-introductions. As always, who am I sitting with? Introduce yourself.
You told me to come up with a nickname, and I could not come up with a nickname.
Is that because you're shy, uncreative, or
I mean, the only thing I could come up with is like stripper names, and that doesn't work.
Well, use what do they say? The first street you lived on and your hair color.
Give me a second. The first street I lived on.
Stoner second. This is the radio, man. Who else are we sitting with? While he's thinking, we'll give him a couple minutes to think about who he is. Introduce yourself. By coincidence, you have now made yourself a part of the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. Please get close to the microphone. You are part of Viz.Red, are you not?
Yes, I am.
Which means you are part of the cryptocurrency movement, part of the Advocacy Learning Center here, and indirectly, I guess that makes you part of the podcast. Since you're here on the couch, as probably many people will be, what you'll learn over the course of this podcast, a little different than the previous show that I do. Instead of being one-on-one, I will most likely be grouped up, right? As the couches tend to be full of various stragglers throughout the day that come and go. This show will be hopefully primarily hosted by yours truly, and have you figured out a name for yourself?
Hi, my name's Ryan.
Ryan, how did you come up with that?
It happens to be my name.
All right, Ryan, welcome. And?
I'm Flint Ridge Drive.
Okay, welcome.
Baker.
Say that one more time.
Flint Ridge Drive Baker.
Flint Ridge Drive Baker, welcome.
Flint Ridge.
Welcome to the Crypto-Cannabis Podcast, where we are here doing something very unique, very different, and honestly, probably something more impactful in society than any other group, meetup group, organization, nonprofit, anything else.
Hello, we're Viz.Red, and we are working to decentralize money.
Decentralize your life. Instability is not the curse of being disorganized or chaos. Sometimes instability is intentional because those in control have the powers to make things unstable. What we're looking at is not only a way to create a decentralized, which we'll get into over the course of the weeks and shows that you get to know us about what that means. We're also going to get into the impact of what that does for society. How having the ability to have access to money in a way that is secure, but also a way that holds a certain amount of privacy and a certain amount of security with whomever you're in relationship with your government, right? That your security of money doesn't depend on who your government relationship is.
Yeah, your bank or your government or
Right.
your financial system.
So by getting engaged in this topic of cryptocurrency, which Ryan will explain hopefully slowly and methodically over the course of time.
With purpose.
We'll learn about what that means, how we make money from it, how people can invest in it, how you can invest in it through donations, through intentional gains for profit, help people's lives, right? You can invest in people's lives by changing their lives. You can invest in the Bitcoin market, the industry. You can invest in blockchain. You technology, security for your company, document security,
securities,
savings,
Decred, Ethereum, Litecoin, Peercoin, Darkcoin. I mean, what do they call Darkcoin now? Dash.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of currencies out there, and we'll little by little learn about them. This isn't just a show where we're just going to spit a bunch of technological terms at you and talk about, digital currency. It's a show about the end result of where that world can take you, right? What is the end result of the world where you think about things differently?
Transparency.
Transparency and where money is held and how it's held and in what form and who has control over it and who issues it and who accepts it and the value and the worth and where it's derived from and how that affects your everyday life. And I'm using that as a personal crusade in my own to enhance one specific community, and that is the medical community of the cannabis industry. Hence the show's name, Crypto-Cannabis Podcast. So I'm going to be working in relationship every week with Viz.Red and the Aurora Cryptocurrency Meetup Group, and we're going to be reporting on not only what's going on in the industry of Bitcoin and cryptocurrency and all that, but how it can directly impact people's lives. And some of the people I'm going to focus on are going to be patients. And the reason is is because patients are one of those people out there who need financial help, and they need it from a realistic way, right? You can't expect somebody who's poor and with cancer or some other debilitating disease to all of a sudden have access to resources and money to start an investment firm and a real estate firm and have access to all that so you can create your profits and maintain your medical treatments and all that. That's a fantasy world. I'm in the middle of a rant here, man. No, I'm just fucking with you. So here's the goal, right? As we've tried to define it over these last couple weeks, right?
Yes.
Is we've tried to define how can we take this topic of cryptocurrency and relate it directly to people's lives where it has an impact. And what we've determined is that there's a way we can create a donorship investment type program for medicinal patients where people can invest in patients' lives by investing in Bitcoin and creating a self-funding program that over the course of time builds enough financial capital to self-sustain a regimen of treatment or medicine that is needed for some of these defined patients.
Emotional things like kids with cancer that can't afford their fucking medicine.
I don't know if we discussed if it was going to be an explicit language podcast.
You didn't say. You didn't say. Can I say ass and not get letters? Please?
Say whatever you want. That's the beauty of podcasting. There is no federal FCC regulation. Here's the thing: this is the first show of a new podcast.
Right.
The other show that I do is a business-focused show where I try 80% of the time to keep it somewhat non-explicit.
Yeah, but do you see how I use that fucking?
It was a great use of the word
fucking. That was an emotional use of the word fucking.
Well, let's say this. It's going to be a show that's going to be based on a lot of emotional things are going to come up. When you talk about finances and you talk about people's health and you talk about lives and you talk about their whole society, things get emotional and people may need to use the word fucking.
They might need to, but I've seen plenty of television shows.
All right, well, let's make a ruling.
They try not to.
Let's make a ruling. 2 out of 3, hands raised. Should this show be an explicit, friendly show? Heads down, hands up.
That's unanimous.
All right, so we got a 3 out of 3 count.
We would fail.
My head was down. I wasn't seeing. The Crypto-Cannabis Podcast will be an explicit, language-friendly show. So if you can't take that, tune into some other fucking show.
Nice.
So let's quickly move on because this show is going to be different in format. It's going to be 30 minutes in length. So let's get it organized. We're going to have a quick introduction. Done. Did. Everybody's introduced. We got the word out what the show's about. Yes. Yeah. Got a basic concept, who it's with, when it's happening. Let's do some specific topic thing, and then let's get the fuck out of here and get on with our lives till next week.
Topic things.
So let's find one topic this week. Why don't we start with the basics? Why don't you just give us a quick rundown of what cryptocurrency is and give us one thing that directly means for the cannabis industry on the business side and one thing that directly means for a cannabis patient. Go.
All right. On the business end of things, cryptocurrency is like digital currency, except for that it is decentralized. So you've got an anonymous, decentralized currency, as an example, Bitcoin. And the ability to trade in and out of it through credit, debit, PayPal, cash, brick and mortar, online, ATMs, and
so it's a non-cash form of payment.
Yeah.
Excellent. The topic at hand is just the basic. We're relating directly how cryptocurrency can directly impact the cannabis industry. One thing it means for a business and one thing it could mean for a patient in the industry.
Oh, right. Patients. Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies could be important for patients when they would like to subsidize or grow a medical account as you would any other investment. But Bitcoin being highly volatile and been around for 9 years, with lots of media attention, it's a pretty good investment.
So for a business, good form of payment, good investment, good way to let customers interact with you. For a patient,
you got investments. You have the ability to make, $100 by buying, maybe 2 Bitcoin, and then the next day you could make $100 and trade back out.
Now you say 2 Bitcoin because you have a specific program where the purchase of 2 Bitcoin begins an investment.
Oh no, I was specifically saying 2 Bitcoin because the average daily jump is about $50. So if you have 2 Bitcoin, then you have the ability to make literally $100 based on its moving average.
In 2 days.
In 2 days.
In 2 days.
Yes.
Now, this is the program you have in place that you're using right now, where you have people right now who are invested in this type of program where you're creating money?
This is one of the programs
One
we
of the
have
programs
that people are investing in.
Are you one of?
Well, I'm Trevor. I've been in the Bitcoin industry about 5 years, just here with Ryan as a partner with him, and a lot of the avenues that we've looked at as far as Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies go.
5 years meaning you bought Bitcoin 5 years ago, or you've been doing something business-wise 5 years?
I've been working with Ryan business-wise for 5 years.
Excellent.
Benefits I see on a business end for cryptocurrencies in the cannabis community would have to be money and doing the taxes with dispensaries and things like that. A lot of the problem they're having is none of that money can be put into banks. They have to go through credit unions, something that's not backed by the federal government, something that's not insured by it, since it's only a state legal thing. And when you introduce cryptocurrencies into consideration, you no longer have a need to have the government-run banking systems to take tax with that.
So it's literally an outlet for money to be in placement other than under the bed.
Right, exactly.
Now, it could be revolutionary in the sense that it could change the whole industry, because now they have a place that's safe, secure, easy to transfer, non-physical, so you don't need like a warehouse to put your money, a storage unit somewhere.
Right, absolutely.
It could change everything from that perspective.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do specifically with Bitcoin on a daily basis? Do you broker it, or just buy it, or do you invest some other way with it?
When we first started out, that was my main thing. Was I was a day trader for Ryan. I would sit there and I would watch a few different websites, Mt. Gox being one of them that's no longer in business. There were a few others that I don't know if they're still in business anymore, but that was my job, was watching the graphs and the daily trading everyone was doing, and being the guy that was like, okay, we need to sell these now and buy them up in half an hour or 3 days from now, however long it was before that.
Like stocks
interval.
and bonds.
Right, exactly. It's just day trading.
Yeah, just working through the process of trying to make money off of the ups and downs of what's going on.
Right.
What do you think now that it's 2016 and Bitcoin's more developed and is becoming more accepted? How do we get it into the industry, since it is such a great benefit? What is the direct route to actually get the industry to take hold? Because being that you're on the forefront of an industry that very few people are really part of, if cannabis were to find out about it, that could be an immediate mass influx of just business and overall infrastructure and everything.
Right now, where we stand since, 6 years ago, I believe, when the Silk Road got taken down, that's how they tracked a lot of them down, was through the blockchain technology, and a lot of people still see Bitcoin in particular as criminals' money, and
Underworld,
that's not the case at all, but people still see it like that since it was heavily involved in various shady dealings.
There has to be a PR aspect to break
Absolutely.
through what's going on to get it out there so everybody can accept it.
Right.
So how can you immediately then profit from an industry standpoint? And if you're an investor, is that what you consider yourself, an investor?
Yes.
So how are you trying to make money from it?
Well, the day trading, obviously, there are high interest savings accounts that are set up, like certified deposit accounts.
Interest
in a
rate
bank.
type stuff.
Right, exactly. With the interest rates, there are 30-day ones at 9.5% or something like that.
How much total do you think you've invested into some type of Bitcoin?
Oh, wow.
All your savings?
No. Coming up currently with the most recent investment, it's going to be $500. In the past, before the last crash, I invested, what would you say, $800 that last time, like before the crash when we were moving down here. We had a good chunk of money sank into that.
So in total, 1,500, less than 2,000.
Yeah, I would say roughly 1,500 over the past 5 years that I've been dealing with Ryan.
And how much would you say is needed for somebody to be successful at it?
Oh, to be successful at it, you can...
Like in the sense of actually be able to see some type of return and make some money.
Depends on how quickly you would like to make your money back, is where we're at here. We have the programs that's a 13-month program, and off of an initial 2 Bitcoin investment, at the end of that 13 months,
Now, this is kind of the main program. So do you want to explain it, or do you want to wait to be here with Ryan? Or
I'd rather have Ryan explain it, definitely.
Because that's kind of the meat and
details.
bones of what we're talking about here. Kind of the Saturday meetup group, the Aurora Cryptocurrency meetup group is all about.
Yeah.
At 323 Airport Boulevard.
Suite 120.
Aurora, Colorado.
Yep.
Every Saturday, 4 o'clock is the meetup group.
Excellent.
That's where you can find us, and you can even be on the podcast to talk about the issues of cryptocurrency and how it relates to anything, really. The meetup group, the podcast is trying to focus on cryptocurrency and cannabis, but open to all conversation. So thank you very much for being on the first show.
Not a problem. Glad to be here.
So where should we go from there? If you didn't have anything specific, should we do another topic, or should we?
Well, specifically, we could talk about Decred for a second.
Oh, since today at noon you had a little celebration, correct?
Yes, that's
tell
because
us about it.
24 hours from now, or a little bit less now, Decred will be released. I apologize. The airdrop will close. Sign up for it in 24 hours for the full release later on this month. So Decred is similar to Bitcoin, except it's a cryptocurrency 2.0. So the currency is a big part of it, in Decred, but it's not the only part of it.
Right.
Much like Ethereum, which is another cryptocurrency. That what do you
just checking? Sometimes it doesn't look like it's recording real strong on your end, so I just have to check it and make sure it's right. Don't mind me, just keep talking.
I'm gonna keep talking.
Do you need somebody to stay focused on you to keep?
No,
to keep
I will.
train of
I'll
thought?
concentrate on this clown nose of a microphone.
If it were a TV show, I would be a little more eye focused. To me, it's not that important.
You ever
to
been
look
on
at somebody
TV?
When you talk, yeah.
Yeah.
When on the radio, it's not that important to look at the person I'm talking to.
What were you on TV
It's
for?
like being on the phone.
Do you have a shitty commercial in your closet? What's on your TV?
Porno, just porno. Nothing
Oh, just
more.
porno? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
nothing serious, man. I have done like little commercial type stuff and little video productions and just stuff like that.
Is it
Not like on a TV show.
Is it an acne commercial?
No, like promotional type promotion.
Prostate exam commercial.
Not like on a TV show. Not like I was on NCIS or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Not that kind of TV.
Did I guess both of them?
Yeah.
Yeah?
The prostate guy. I have IBS. IBS plus diarrhea. Like IBS isn't enough. I thought IBS was diarrhea. They have to say plus diarrhea to really round it off. So, Decred, 24 hours from now. That's all I got for you this week, entrepreneurs. Thank you for listening in, and thank you to everybody that's been supporting this community over the years. Keep following us after the show on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Massroots. We're out there. You can find us just about anywhere, even YouTube. So make sure to come back next week and join us for another show where we'll be discussing more topics, interviewing more guests, and this is getting bigger because of you. We'll see you next week.